right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You ever have an opportunity to really be alone, just think about things and wonder about things? That's it.
Yeah, sometimes.
That seems to be where, we kind of contemplate our very existence and our spirituality. And other times, you're so busy doing things and you don't realize that your spirituality is playing a role in that too, right? Mm-hmm. You just for some reason think that in the quiet times is when you're really in touch with it. But I think you're in touch with it if you're helping out your neighbor, if you're helping, clean up a mess. Our next guest, I think he's been with us before, Dr. Ivan Figueroa Otero. Am I saying his name right? I heard you say he's in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. He spent 4 decades as a pediatric surgeon. He trained in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. He's recognized by Natural Awakenings magazine as the Holistic Physician of the Year. Well, if you're an acupuncturist, you're putting holes into people, so yes, you'll be the holes. It's a joke. It's a joke. Spirituality 103 is the name of the book. The Forgiveness Code, Finding the Light in Our Shadows. Oh, my gosh. Dr. Otero, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I like what you just mentioned was perfect. That some people think that meditation and spirituality passivity is like sitting around doing nothing, being a sponge. That's not spirituality. Spirituality means you got to get in there and do something about the world, right?
Well, I think you're meant to be. I think we're meant to be here for each other.
That's right. I mean, the retreat and the spirituality meditation aspect prepares you and gets you ready to go out. But it's not to escape. People use it as an escape route to get away from suffering and from difficulties. That's not the way I see it.
Yeah.
I see the way we have to learn to live with the difficulties in life. Like what I told your friend here, that we just been through a hurricane in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and how are you doing, by the way? You doing okay?
We're doing better. I really am in the city aspect of Puerto Rico in the north, and we're doing pretty well. But if you go down into the suburbs and the countryside, they're still very, very in bad condition. They're still running, no light, no facilities, no water. They're.
If another country had devastated Puerto Rico the way Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, you would be angry at that other country. Was there any anger or need for forgiveness from God? I mean, did you feel like you were angry at God for doing that? No. I think when you finish reading my book, you see that God has nothing to do with the decision of your suffering. We tend to get these aspects of living in our lifestyle and our way to live, and that generates a lot of negativities in our lives. That is self-created. I call these lessons of love in my book. I don't call them punishment. So whenever we get a lesson of love, we are reminded to retour ourselves. We guide ourselves into what we came here for, whatever our purpose. So my life as a surgeon, as a physician, has been interminable lessons of love. I review my life, and I've gotten lots of lessons of love that really guided me back into the source, into the way I'm supposed to. Do you have to love somebody who has done you harm? Do you have to love somebody who has hurt you?
Yes, I think the best way to look at that, if we go back to the Christian concept, please, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Now, that cannot be a better example. How can you do that? The reason is that the mind of Jesus at that time was ready to recognize himself as the Son of God, Son of the Spirit. So he could look at those beings as like immature, unknowing kids playing around down there, making harm to themselves.
Right.
But he could not hold any grudge because he saw they were their own brother. Remember, Jesus would recognize them as his own brother and sons of his own father. But they were a little lost in time. So he has the patience to understand that those people will understand their harm someday.
and they will get their lessons of love.
So how do you get there? If you were to ask me to forgive somebody who maybe crashed into my car, I think I could do that. But there are some people who have hurt myself, not really me, but people who I love. And I don't know that I could ever forgive. I can never be forgiving in the same level as Jesus was forgiving. I don't know that I could ever do that. Are we, we supposed to?
I think you consider that you don't have the capacity that Jesus had, and that could be true at the time. But all of us have the capacity to recognize the Son of God within us. It takes time, it takes practice, and practice makes perfection. But in my own experience in life, I have been able to forgive many people who have harmed me in different manners. When you read my book and you finish reading it, you will see many examples of how to do that. I could go on for tons and tons of time, but it's difficult to understand with the emotions.
Give me one example, if you could. Give me an example of something that I could do to change my mind about forgiving somebody.
Okay, empathy. Let's say if you review your life, all of us have done something to harm somebody else, usually unconsciously. So as we are younger, we're not aware of our actions and how they affect other beings. So let's see you go back in your past and you find people that you have hurt. You review that, and then when you review that, you feel guilt, but then you recognize that you didn't do it with a purpose to hurt them. So then you want to be forgiven for that, right?
Right.
But then we imagine that the other person who hurt you was always not aware or mindful of his action. Can you forgive that action if you know he was not mindful? Can you understand that?
Yeah. You're like a guru.
At different levels, you have different awareness. And I've made many mistakes in my life, which I feel ashamed about. But now I look back into them. You know what happens? I can laugh at them because I forgive that person who didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and since you said it's true for everybody, then that means that while I might, if I get to that point, I can forgive somebody who may seem unforgivable. But what about me?
Yeah.
What about if I'm asking somebody to forgive me, maybe I did them wrong, I might not make any progress at all, and I can't control them.
You can't control them. You can only rectify your action and be aware not to repeat it again. Now, the universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it, the Spirit, will take care of making those people understand and learn from that experience to be able to forgive you. But time will only it will take God's time and not your time. I can't make everybody understand my sincerity of being forgiven or wanting to accept my mistake. Not everybody can understand me. Some people look at me and say, that guy has not changed. You know, he's not changed. He's a fake. He's just looking for heaven, and he's being selfish, but that's not true. I've seen that happen. Can I tell you a testimony of somebody who read my book?
Yes.
Okay, I got this. You can find it in Amazon. This lady of Muslim belief, and her mother was a Christian. Somebody killed her sister and her niece, and she wrote and made me cry in my book for the first time. In this book, I find the capacity to be able to forgive this person. I think I can do it. That's what she said. Now, that for me made my day. Like Clint Eastwood, it made my day.
Well,
so,
let me ask you.
For one person, go ahead.
Doctor, I'm just curious. I mean, it sounds like you could have been a pastor or a minister of some sort. Have you considered that, or in a way, you have a ministry, but you have a ministry. Your book is a ministry, isn't it?
It's a ministry. I want to help people without the limitations of religion structure. Like that Muslim understood the message of love, and I'm a Christian believer. but I've studied Buddhist traditions. I've studied other ways of thinking. I take advantage of everything that the universe or God supplies us with. In Buddhism, we say that you have to develop this skillful means to help others. But you have to learn how to help others in their own beliefs. You don't have to change into your beliefs, you understand? Now, being a minister, I was raised by a mother who was a missionary. So I may have a little bit of tinge there in the way I speak. But let me tell you, my heart is full of testimony, of my own awareness, of my mistakes. I put myself down in front of my patient. When I see a patient, I tell them, "You think you had a bad life? Let me tell you my story." And then they start laughing.
Oh, wow.
Because they come to a doctor and they expect, "Oh, this guy's perfect. I know he can save me and he can help me." I said, "Listen, you're in the wrong way. I am the guy who can tell you I've done the same thing you've done." And then from then on, they open up to me. They feel comfortable because they see somebody who really has been through your process. So I am not a perfect human being. I'm just a human being.
So do you find yourself, is it easy for you to like people who are not likable?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So it's hard.
No.
Yeah, that's a hard thing.
It's hard. It's hard. It doesn't mean that you want to get, okay, I can let a guy hit me one side of the face, but I'm going to get away from that guy. I'm going to want to hit the other side. No way.
Yeah,
If somebody is against me, is trying to hurt me, I'm going to get away from them.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not going to hurt them back.
No? I might.
It's not the vengeance. The Bible says in the Old Testament, the vengeance is not yours, it's God's.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So,
But sometimes you have
it's
to.
not mine.
Yeah, but what if it's okay? But what if somebody's hurting somebody you love, and you can smack that guy and hurt him to get him off of the person that they're hurting? I mean, wouldn't
Well,
you?
you're talking about a physical situation. You
Yeah.
have to do that. Anybody, even if it's not your sister.
Yeah.
If I've gotten in so many trouble because I see somebody being abused, I can't help it but go in and help.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets me into situations which I can't help it. I'm an old 72-year-old man. But I will still get in there and do. I still get in there, and I feel like I'm 25, and I'm going to get myself hurt, but I'm going to do something about it.
But what
okay.
what if it wasn't physical? What if you were like in the store, and you heard somebody telling a young person, "You're no good. You're never going to amount to anything." I mean, would you?
Oh, what I would do, I would say, "She's wrong. You're a perfect child. You're the son of God. You're beautiful. She's wrong. She just doesn't recognize the qualities in you because she doesn't recognize in herself." That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I would tell the opposite.
I would
That's
too.
what I would do. And then I would tell the person, "You know something? I can understand how angry you feel and how lack of self-esteem you do, but let me tell you, I understand that you're a lovable person, you're the son of God. So I'm not going to worry about that."
Yeah.
That's what I could.
Yeah. Well, you're a smart guy. Have you always been this smart, or is it from the school of hard knocks? No.
No, the school of hard knocks that made me smarter. I was going to say a bad word in I was a jerk.
Uh-huh.
Remember, I was a surgeon. I used to float down the hallways. I would not hit the floor. I would float down the hallways. And I would think the world was mine, and the patients were in my charge, and I knew the best for my patients. So I've been there.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting book, Spirituality 103, The Forgiveness Code, Finding the Light in Our Shadows. What a fascinating conversation we've had with Dr. Ivan Figueroa Otero. I hope I'm saying your name close. Doctor,
Yeah.
I found the book on Amazon. Do you have a website?
Yes, you can look at Amazon, but you can see everything about my books in like my name, I Figueroa, IFIGUEROA allauthor.com. ifigueroa.allauthor.com, and you can find a lot of information about my books. The books can be available I got a special discount price of 99 cents for the ebook.
Wow. I have a
So the people can just download it.
And I
for
just-
pretty cheap.
And I want to tell the listeners, I have a copy of the book. So if you want the one that was sent to me, you can call me and I'll leave it for you. But the rest of us do have to go buy it. 99 cents for the Kindle. You can't go wrong. Dr. Ivan Figueroa Otero, thank you so much for your wisdom and for taking time to be with us today.
I am very thankful for the opportunity to share it with your public. Okay?
All right. Very
Have
good.
a great day.
Thank you.
And remember, continue forgiving no matter what happens.
I'll try. That's a hard one. All right. We'll be right back.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around.